Well, today's big day. Today's a big day. Why? Because I got tons of gessoing to do. We got this big 48 by 48 here. That's going to be something I work on alone. There's one behind it. What size is this? It is a 36 by 48. That's one that Randy and I are going to collab on. And so I'm going to gesso both of those. That's one that Randy has got going on. Big gesso day. Because I'm going to gesso 4 of these as well, because 4 of these are mine. 2 of each, 18 by 24s, and then the 12 by 36s. So I'm going to do all this gessoing today, so that way next time I come in, I can get some painting done. Randy and I are going to get a collab done for our sushi show. That's what I'll call it, sushi show. It's not really an exhibition or a show, but it is, at Fusion Sushi, we're going to have a whole bunch of work. They have a lot of space. We can have our pieces in there for sale. There's no commission that they take. It's just like great space for us to have our work, so we're going to do that. For 3 months. Anytime we sell something, though, we got to replace it right away, which makes me a little nervous because the point is to sell stuff, but then it's like we got to replace stuff right away. So we're going to have some big pieces, which will be great, and some smaller ones too. But anyway, big gesso day ahead of me. I wanted to kind of get in here and show you what's coming up at the Trianon. And for a long time, because of COVID, there was one dude's work in here for like 6 months or maybe longer. It was a ridiculous amount of time. And then eventually they were like, yo, we're gonna finally have exhibitions in here rotating again and kind of change things up. So that's what they did. And I don't think I got any footage of the last exhibition for a couple of reasons. But I wanted to make a point of it. I'm like, oh, now that I'm in the mode of actually remembering, like, hey, they are actually changing exhibitions up, regularly again, then I wanted to kind of show you what's up here. I don't know who the artists are yet. I haven't seen them, and there's no artist statement, so I don't know. But there's some cool stuff going on, I think, anyway. I really like kind of appropriating stuff and doing it your own way. This is all like floral vases and stuff, but man, I love these colors. A lot of these pastels and stuff they're using, and speaking of pastels, the pastel drawing techniques as well. I don't know, there's something about them that I love. And this kind of style is something that I don't really do that much, if at all, where it's kind of rough, and I don't know how to explain it. It's just not precise. And that's a skill. That's still a skill. There's still balance in the composition and stuff. I don't know, I really, really like it. Randy saw these works before I did, and I was kind of in my head, I was like, that doesn't sound too great. But now that I'm here, man, this is off the chain. I really, really enjoy this a lot. Again, appropriating some found art elements and collaging them within your own stuff. I just think this stuff is great. I'm really excited about this exhibition. I just got here and put the canvases over there, and I just saw these for 30 seconds while I was walking through. So now I'm taking a longer look with you at the same time. This is delightful. This is the darkest piece I think that's in here, and it's still just gorgeous, beautiful. A lot more finished looking, not as loose, but still pretty loose, and much thicker application of paint and just much more finished and complete. The other ones are finished and complete. Oh, we've got some more plates here. They are complete, but that's the thing. That's part of that aesthetic, is looking really loose, and man, these are beautiful. I just think they're gorgeous. I'll post some pictures on my social media once the exhibition is up, but I'm really excited to live in the space with these for a while. And I've been saying this for the past year and a half or so that I've had the studio space. Year and a half, no, it's got to be 2 years, 2.5 years. I've been saying I just want to sit with these pieces more, I just want to sit, take one of these chairs and come out here and just sit and just really soak them in and do some writing and just chill, do some reading and just be able to look at stuff. I'm just so lucky to have a studio space and a gallery But very frequently, I would say more often than not, the work that's here just doesn't strike me that much. It doesn't really give me what these are giving me right now, which is just gorgeous. And like there was one other one that was just, the whole exhibition just floored me, and I was really inspired by it. But I didn't I didn't give myself the time to be inspired by it. I didn't allow myself to be. I was just like, didn't take the time to sit with it. Like there were things that are like, man, I really like that. I kind of like a lot of these elements, and like maybe that'll seep into my work right now, and it didn't, and that's not a good thing. Like I think if I allowed it to, I could have used some of these elements in my work in a way that was really great. I just noticed there's some stuff in the small gallery here too. I'm assuming it's theirs. It's got to be. Maybe it's not. It might be someone else's here, but beautiful. And it's also fun because it's like how much, like with this one, it's a lot easier for me to tell what they did and what they didn't. And with this, I can start assuming, but I really love, again, like appropriating what's already there. I don't know, you can go to Value Village and just get some like stuff that's been painted on already, right? And then just do your own thing with it. And then now it's yours, right? Like how much do you change? Like what's, it's really interesting, and I really, really like it. I enjoy it a lot. And that's something that we're going to be talking about on Art Ballad podcast today. We're doing the podcast about appropriation and copyright and intellectual property and what's okay and what's not. Stealing art, basically. So if you haven't, if you're into podcasts, or if you're not into podcasts yet, but maybe you want to give it a shot, Art Ballad is something I do with Randy. I've been doing it for I don't know how many months now. I don't even think it's been 6 months yet. But we have regular episodes weekly. You can find them on whatever, podcast format they're on. Not everything, obviously, but I mean, they're on Apple, they're on Google, they're on Spotify, they're on Podcast Addict, which is what I use to listen, and a bunch of other platforms as well. So you can check that out. We got 2 episodes a week. We didn't start out that way, but I mean, we average like an hour for like our main episode that drops on Tuesdays at 4 a.m. So if you commute really early, you can get it. And then we also have a second episode we started doing a week. A second episode a week that we started doing a couple months back called Bite Size, where it's just like a smaller, just like a little kind of like 20 to a half hour minute, 20 to 30 minute like episode that drops on Saturday mornings again at 4 a.m. just to like, I don't know, just to have 2 and just to, we kind of treat them differently. What we do with the Bite Size isn't like a huge theme. We don't do interviews in that time, but that's the thing we do. We do interviews for our what we call like main episodes, or hour-ish long ones. We do, deep dives into movies. We take themes like I just talking about this quote that's been attributed to a lot of people, like good artists copy, great artists steal. So that's the theme we're talking about this week, and that some of this fits into that. Anyway, I'm loving this stuff, and I'm going to sit with some of it today because I do have a little bit of time, I think, after I adjusted that stuff. Whew. So, something's been going on with my hearing past couple days, especially in my left ear. It just feels like there's like cotton in there or something. I've never had a problem, like I've never had ear infections, I've never had like compacted earwax or anything like that, so I don't know what it is. It's not painful, but it's happening on this side a little bit too, and I'm not sick, so like I don't think it's a symptom of anything else because nothing else is happening. And I tried to call my doctor on Friday, and they were closed. So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday morning, I guess I'll have to call and hopefully get in for an appointment. Because it's getting, like, worse. Like, it feels more plugged, and my hearing is obviously affected by that. So that's not good. But it's not getting, like, worse and dramatic. Like, I can't go to emergency with this issue, I don't feel, because it's not an emergency yet. It doesn't warrant that. But that's what's up there. I lived the dream too long. I had a decent week. And that was too much to ask for. So, past week and a half that I was at the school I was at, I still am actually, was great. It was just a dream, like subbing position. And then, I'll still get to finish that out, I think, the next 2 days. But as I'm sure some people are already aware, we've gotten some news from the provincial government and health minister and whatever about the fact that schools in Alberta will be closing up, going back to online learning, and that sucks for me because there's no CERB anymore, and it would take 2 weeks, I believe it's 2 weeks of not being employed before I can create a request for employment insurance. So that's a thing. Like, it's just right before Christmas, like, hey, you don't get to work. So right now the thing is that that'll change, I'm sure. But right now it's that high school students, as of November 30th, are going into online learning, and middle school, or from grade K to 6, or K to 6, they are staying in school until December 18th. And then from that point on, they are going to be online learning and taking like an extended break. I don't remember when all students, I think it's January 11th or January 9th, I don't remember the date where they're supposed to be, all students are supposed to go back to school, but I mean, come on. Like, you're only doing some lockdown stuff for like under 2 months, and I really don't think things are going to get under control enough that we can be like, oh yeah, let's keep that thing. Like, so much can change from week to week to week. And I mean, had we kept some moderate, I don't even want to get into all of it, but I mean, there's a lot of things that weren't done that could have been done by individuals and, officials, that could have kept this thing under wraps more, because it's crazy that Alberta had more cases, new cases confirmed in like a week or a day or both than Ontario did, which is like 3 times the population, and we just had the most cases in the country, and it was just like, cool, that's great. Like, I'm fortunate that it hasn't really affected me and my family on a health level. However, you need money to eat, and that's going to be a thing too. So, finished up my last day of work for the foreseeable future. There's still a couple of weeks left that I could be subbing K to 6, but that's half like the amount of grades available, and there's going to be twice as many subs, right? Like, I mean, with half the amount of days and all the subs still looking for days, my chances of working are 50% less than they were prior, especially because all the people that request me are high school. I don't have any middle school or elementary people request me at all. It's all high school, and there's no high school. So I don't know how much I'll be working in the next couple weeks, but we'll see. Getting some Christmas stuff ready, and it's so many things up in the air with the restrictions and stuff, that who knows when it comes Christmas time, are we going to be able to go visit family? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, if borders are going to be kind of like restricted or whatever. So obviously you got to take things one day at a time. I can't wait till this exhibition over there is like completely up, so I can kind of take you through a tour of that with all the pieces and them being where they're supposed to be and everything, because I'm really excited about this exhibition. And speaking about exhibitions I'm excited for, I am very excited to get rid of, to make some space, at least temporarily, in the studio. And this weekend, Randy and I are taking a whole bunch of our work to Fusion Sushi and putting that up, some big pieces, and I don't know how many, like 20 of our pieces are going up. I mean, a lot of those are between individual pieces, some of mine, some of Randy's, and then a couple collabs that we did together as well. And we just sold one of our collabs at the Penny. And I don't know, I'm just realizing, like, man, we have a lot of work up in the city, and that's really nice. And have some stuff up at Big John's, have some stuff up at Round Street, gonna have some stuff up at Fusion for, a couple months. And the Penny as well. And we had some stuff up at the Slice too. So some stuff that's kind of more permanent, and some stuff that's kind of a rotating, well, not rotating, it's just temporarily there, and then the show is done, and then it's it. Not a show, but just having our work there. So that's been nice. And we submitted a proposal to CASA for 2022 for a main gallery exhibition. And I think I'll tell you more about that another time. We won't know till January if we got it or not. You know what, I'll tell you about it now. We just thought we would combine, writing and our non-objective work, or abstracts, in this way of, we were talking about how, like, we both recognized that writing was really our first art form. I know we still use it in our artistic practice, but we don't really publish it as an art form. It just like helps us reflect on things and whatever, and some of those ideas and thoughts and reflections make their way into abstract paintings, or the other way around. We do an abstract painting because we can't really figure out our own feelings as much, or our experiences and how we feel about them, and some of that makes our writing clearer for afterwards. So that's kind of the concept of it, is showing non-objective work and some pieces of writing as well, having some on-site work and some collage, kind of large collage type stuff. Anyway, that's the vlog for this week. With that, we'll see you on another time.